Students all over the world, welcome back to my new video. In this video, I want to have with you a little conversation about a great method of studying English. For being fluent in English, you need to dominate grammar, vocabulary, and a lot of constructions. There are different kind of methods that you can study for you be fluent in English, for you speak English very fast and understand the native English speaker. There are different kind of methods. For example, a method that says listen with subtitles. Listen with subtitles. This is the step number one of this method. The step number two, listen without subtitles. Listen without subtitles. The step number three, listen paragraph, listen sentence, listen word, listen history, or only listen. I not agree with that method because if you only listen, it's like another people says, I understand English but I don't speak it. I understand English but I don't write it. I understand English but I don't read it. Remember, the English study have 4 phases: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And you have to dominate all that phases for you to be fluent in English. You have to, for example, I have a great method, that is my method that I created. The step number 1, write in your notebook the text, the paragraph, the sentence, the word, or construction in English. If you do that, you are learning the figure of the words, and you are recording in your brain the figure of that word. In every book, in every newspaper, in every class that you see that word, you remember immediately. The step number 2 is you read and listen together. When you read and listen together, you are practicing two parts together of the English, and you are speaking aloud. You are listening and speaking aloud. And that is a very way for you to be fluent in English. The step number 3 says, close your notebook and only listen without see the figure of the paragraph, without see the letters, the sentences, the phrases, or the history. Only listen. When you do that, you see where you failed and you correct that part. You correct that part because this is a cycle that you can do every time, the different moment. You can do that 3 times, 4, 5 times, every day if you have time, or every moment that you are free for you to speak English very well and very fast. When you do that, I want to say another thing. For example, if the English were, my house is blue. Very beautiful. My house is blue. But sometimes that's not the English. Sometimes the English have sentences that are very difficult to understand, to interpret. Then you have to interpret that constructions, that words, that sentences, and talk like we talk. This is very important that you know. Another thing that I want to say is that English is a habit. English is a desire. English is an appetite and a future goal. English is not easy for learn. You need to study your English every day. You need to study your English every time you're free. Reading, writing, speaking, listening every time, because English is blood, sweat, and tears. What does it mean? What mean blood, sweat, and tears? Is the English is hard. It's a hard work. You need to do a hard work in English, studying English. That is a lot of efforts and sufferings, because if you want to go to bed, for example, at 11 a.m., at 11 p.m., you can't, because you need to study your English. You need to be up in the night, late in the night, because you have to study English, because you want to be friend, and you want to understand the native English speaker, and you need to study very hard your English. There is another advantage. This advantage is that the tense repeat. For example, if the words that you see in the basic level, you see in intermediate level. When you learn the first lesson very well, when you learn the second lesson very well, when you learn the third lesson very well, the fourth lesson, the fifth lessons, you are passing the basic level, the intermediate level, and advanced English level. And every word, for example, you see the words table. In basic, you see table. Intermediate, you see table. In advanced English, you see table. And in upper level English, you see table. The tense, they are repeating. That is very advantage of the English for you, my friend. I want to say for you, I only want to say for you, to you, in this little conversation, is that English is not easy to understand. English is not easy to learn. You need to do all your effort for you be fluent in English. If you sign up in a course, you can jump into another course. I let that course and take another. No, you need to follow in this course from the beginning to the finish, from the beginning to the end of that course. 1 lesson, 30 lesson, 40 lesson. If, for example, it's not true that you learn English in 8 months, in 7 months. You learn to speak some words, some phrases, but to be fluent in English, to speak in English and understand the native English speaker, to live in the United States in a high society, in a high community, speaking English, very good English, is an effort, it's a very effort, it's blood, sweat and tears. Hard work with a lot of effort and suffering. Okay, my student, I hope that you follow my advice. I love that you follow all that I am saying to you in this video, for what you have a very more fine study English, and you learn English very well, very fast, can speak English, understand English, write English, read English in the United States. Mainly understand the native fluent English speaker. That's the point. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you in my next video. Goodbye, my student.